Hey everyone, it's Arvin. Welcome back to the channel. Okay, nobody asked, but today we are roasting my designs from a few years ago from our previous home. And let's take a look at what I could have done better, what I did successfully, and then let's compare it to a new design from our current home or a design from just a few months ago. And let's take a look if there are any similarities. Did I evolve? Did I learn a few things throughout the years? This first room is our living room in Vegas, and this was shot on October 21st, 2019. This was just a few months after we moved in to our first home, and I knew nothing. I literally knew nothing about interior design. I will say this, I like the coffee table, and I like the rug. That's about it. Let's address the elephant in the room. The big ass clock. Oh! What was I thinking with this giant clock? I thought I was a farmhouse girly back in the day. I'm pretty sure I found this inspo from Joanna Gaines or something where I saw this big clock and I was like, I need to have a clock. I found that clock at HomeGoods, okay, my HomeGoods days. The clock has got to go. And what is up with the pillows? There's so many pillows, and I did the chop, the karate chop. Girl, I wanted to chop all my pillows back in the day. I just... Also, this is just so cluttered. There's so much stuff piled on top of each other. I really thought I was like farmhouse and bohemian. I just feel like this kind of decorating is very dated. You know, I will say this, I do like how I mixed in some mid-century pieces in this like farmhouse bohemian theme. The coffee table is mid-century and I like the warmth of that wood. The chair on the right is also like a mid-century shape. I absolutely hate that everything here is gray. Our floors were gray. This was just like a very sad color palette. It needs some warmth. It needs some warmer wood tones. The clock's gotta go. We actually returned that clock eventually. To me, this feels very young. It feels very like, you know, your first home, your first apartment, which it was. And listen, I want you to sound off in the comments. Let me know what you like about this room, what you don't like about this room. Let's compare it to our living room right now. Okay, this is our living room in our current home. This photo of our living room now was taken in January of this year. We actually shot my rug collection in collaboration with Rugs USA here in our current home. And if you haven't seen that yet, I will link it down below along with any of the sources that I can still find. Links to anything, if they are available, they will be in the description box down below. There's definitely some similarities here from 2019, from our previous home in Vegas. I will say this, here's what I love about this photo. I love the rug, obviously, from my collection. I love the vintage chair on the left. It's Italian. I also love the vintage coffee table and the vintage lamp. You guys know how much I love vintage furniture and accessories now. I think they really add a sense of history to any space. Here's what I don't like about this new design. We rushed some of these pieces. For example, that big piece of art, while it's beautiful, it's a little unexpected for me. I don't do a lot of color in my designs. I feel like in this photo it doesn't read like anything. I feel like it feels random. And honestly, we got the piece because we needed to fill the wall. We needed something on the wall for the photo shoot. And if it were, you know, up to me, if I could do it all over again, I would definitely do something that's more neutral, that speaks more to the overall design of the space. You can see in this new design, I'm taking a lot of the clutter away. Don't get me wrong, I'm not like a minimalist by any means. I love having decor, I love having things out. Here are some of the similarities. I obviously love like a mismatched chair. I don't like very symmetrical design. I like it to feel balanced, but I like a bit of asymmetry. So I have dark charcoal mohair chair on the left, and I have this shearling chair on the right, and it's not matching. I also love big, grand scaled art pieces. And the sofa is actually very similar to the sofa that we had in 2019. What I really love about this new design is it feels a bit more collected. There's some vintage mixed with some newer items. Let me know what you think about this new design. Do you like it? Do you not like it? This next design is from December 17th, 2020. It's a shelf moment in Andrew's old office in Vegas. I will say this, I love the color palette of this design. I like the warmth of the wood, lots of texture, lots of vintage items mixed with newer, affordable pieces. Like that rattan box on the bottom right, I got that from Pier 1 Imports. The wooden sculpture on the top left, I also got that from Pier 1. I feel like there's too many objects in this design. There's too many that are like so big, there's not enough smaller pieces. I feel like when there's a nice mixture, you really get a sense of depth and balance. There's a lot of pears here in this design. Not the fruit, but like a pear, like a 1 and a 2. And there's also a lot of really big objects, which I feel like are just swallowing the shelves. You know, it's like, look at the paper mache bowl. The paper mache bowl is too big for that shelf. And there's not enough books, there's not enough books, there's too many objects, and I feel like it's giving like a store. I don't know, I feel like it's ready for someone to come in and start buying these items. I hate that little vintage wooden stool on top of the book. It just feels a bit random. Now, I will say I love the sculpture that's leaning on its side. Okay, she's sleeping, she's tired. I love her on that book to the right. I think that's a cool little styling tip. Like if you have an object, see it in a different perspective, and maybe instead of having it upright, try leaning it. Put it on its side, maybe you'll see it in a different perspective. I still have a lot of these items, and actually you're gonna see it in the next photo that we're going to be comparing it to. Now, these shelves are from Wayfair. I don't know if I can find the link. If I can, I will have it below. It's actually really good quality, especially if you have two of them paired together. I feel like it looks more impactful. It fills up a room, it fills up a wall. Now let's take a look at my current office. This photo was taken on February, so not too long ago, and I'm really proud of this room. I love the way that this is styled. Again, we shot this for my collection with Rugs USA. This is the Parker rug. I love like the geometric pattern. I feel like it looks so good with different design styles. Now, there is a night and day difference with the styling. First off, here's what I like about this. I love the palette, obviously. It's very warm. There's a mix of different objects and different textures as far as decor goes. I love the way things are spaced out in this photo, and I feel like the objects are speaking to one another, they're speaking to the furniture, they're speaking to that planter. Here's what I don't like about this design. There are some empty spaces on the shelves, like there are some books here that, you know, could have used like an object there. I still feel like I don't have enough books on the shelves, and this is like most of my collection is here. It's all interior design books. Most of them I get from Amazon. I have a whole section of my favorite design books there. Although I love the styling and the different objects, there's some brass, there's some pottery, there's some handmade pieces. It just feels a bit empty to me. When we compare my shelf styling in 2020 and this one from this year, there's definitely some similarities. I do the same styling tricks, like doing a taller object next to something small, and you know, I stick to the same color palette. There's some very similar objects in both photos, but I will say this new shelf styling photo, there's a better mix of like small objects with big objects, different textures and different shapes. I really love this new design, and let me know in the comments if you do too. The shelf is from All Modern, and I also used 2 units here to make one singular wall unit. I love that trick because it really filled up this wall. Let's move on to the next room, and this is our bedroom. This photo was taken September 25th, 2020. There's a lot of cringe happening in this design. First, let's start with what I love. I love the Japanese rice paper pendant. I don't know what it is. I love a paper pendant. I love the bench on the side of the bed, although it feels a little like, maybe a little bit random. And I also love the pillows on the bed. The stripes are mismatched, and I like that they're kind of a brown color. Now let's roast this space. The curtains. It is not positioned properly in this space. It's being smushed by the bed. Ideally, I should have gotten like a longer rod so that the curtains are kind of framing the bed rather than like right behind it. I don't like the big mirror above the nightstands. I think it's like a weird scale. I think it's like, I don't know, it's something about it feels off. I think I was trying to like experiment with like something modern mixed with like the bohemian stuff that I really loved. I don't love the fake olive tree anymore. Listen, she has had enough, okay? The fake olive tree has had enough. Buy a different fake plant, okay? There's ficus, there's a faux palm plant. Buy something else besides the fake olive tree. She has had it. I don't like the chopped pillows. Again, I feel like I don't know, I just feel like it feels a little dated now that I'm looking at it. And I don't like the jute rug under the bed. That rug moved so much throughout the day. It was, if you're putting a rug on top of carpet, make sure it's like a very thick rug with a cotton backing so it doesn't move. Actually, fun fact, this rug is from Rugs USA, you guys. One of the very first rugs that we bought for the house in Vegas was from Rugs USA. Isn't that crazy? And now I have a collection with Rugs USA. Just like full circle moment. It just makes me so happy. Now let's take a look at a brand new bedroom design. This is actually not our home. This is my brother and sister-in-law's home, and it's a very recent bedroom makeover. I love how elevated it feels. One of my favorite things in this makeover is the drapery. It is so transformative. It is so beautiful. It just made this space look so expensive. This is my go-to Amazon drapes in the color gray beige. If you are looking for affordable drapery that looks so freaking expensive, like this is it. I have a whole tab where you can get the swatches, the curtain rods that I use, the rings, and the exact color all in one spot. Make sure you check that out. Another thing I love about this design is the color palette. I feel like I really was laser focused in bringing some warmth to this room. The drapery, the throw blanket that I got from Target, the warmth of the pillows. I just think it's so soothing and calming. Now here's what I don't love. The pendant. It's actually way too big for the space. It's like a 30-inch round cocoon pendant that I got from Crate & Barrel. I love the pendant as it is, but it's not practical with you know, a family that has kids, especially in this like lower ceiling bedroom, because they were actually able to grab the pendant. And we only had 2 days to give this bedroom a makeover. We drove to Vegas and we started getting to work, and I just didn't have time to get something else. We are actually going to be getting them a ceiling fan because it's more practical for their family, and let's be real, it's really hot in Vegas. Another thing I don't like, the white lamps. Now, it's very similar to the white lamps I used in our Vegas home back in 2020. You see a similarity here. I love a big pendant and I love a white lamp. I guess I do. And even the bed is very similar in shape. I actually had a different lamp in mind for this design. I had this like almost vintage like vessel lamp, but it unfortunately did not arrive in time, but it's such a good find. And I felt like that would have added that contrast in the nightstand area. I do wish that I added like a printed pillow or maybe a printed throw blanket just to add a bit more dimension or depth. In the previous design, I love the striped pillows. I think it just added that like, Overall, I really love the way this room turned out. I don't know, I just love the mix of like the mid-century elements with the modern, more traditional pieces. And I think you'll see a through line here with all of these designs is I like to mix and match different types of furniture and decor because it feels a bit more collected. All right, everyone, that was it for me today. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. Sound off in the comments down below. Let me know what you think. Did you like this format? Should I roast more of my designs? Should I go back to roasting you guys? Remember like last year I would roast your spaces and we would have so much fun laughing and learning together. Let me know if you want another roast my subscribers video. And I am trying to film a house update for you guys. I am on full meltdown mode, and today I wanted to film a fun video just so I can forget about the renovations because, spoiler alert, it's not going well. It was going really well and it just went, ooh. So hopefully I'll have an update for you soon, and don't go yet, watch this video next, and I will see you in that video. Bye everyone.